The man who's been on the thick of all this action, Lieutenant General KJS Dhillon, former DGDIA and also former 15 Corps Commander. Tiny Dhillonji, namaste, Jai Hind. So good to speak to you after a while.
Namaste, Mr. Anand, and Jai Hind to all your viewers.
Sir, how would you read the current situation? ये क्या करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं? What are they trying to do?
Anand, speaking as a pure professional from the military point of view,
जी.
we have to look at it from the 2-3 angles. The first and foremost is, we should, in the military, as we said, we should never sit on our laurels. That means whatever successes we have achieved, we should never take them for granted in a fluid situation like what is there in Jammu and Kashmir, where a full-fledged country is working against us. The might, the military, the intelligence, the money of a country is working to destabilize the situation in Jammu and Kashmir. After 5th of August 2019, we had stabilized it. Kashmir per se, the Kashmir Valley, is stable, and there are all the indicators of it being stable. And however, when they found that Kashmir, they can't do much, and there is a lot of turmoil within Pakistan, and to divert the attention away from the home front of their population, now they have to create something in Jammu and Kashmir. So Jammu region per se, that is south of Pir Panjal, the Jammu division, the Rajouri, Poonch, Doda areas, they found them to be easy targets, and they thought probably the security forces network, the grid is not as strong as Kashmir. And they have been able to inflict these 3 terror attacks in the past 3 days. That is one part of it. Now, second is, in any counter-terrorism and counter-insurgency operations, synergy is the name of the game. Synergy between the security forces, synergy between the civil administration, and synergy between the intelligence agencies. All 3 components, it is a whole of nation approach. It is, everyone has to come together. There are no winners, there are no losers. You win together, you lose together. So there is no one-upmanship, and I'm not suggesting that there is one.
Ji.
So what's happening is, in Kashmir, this synergy is working perfectly fine.
जी.
Probably because of no operations and the agencies getting too involved with the law and order situations. Probably that synergy somewhere is gone down, which we need to hone up again and bring it up to the desired level, where Pakistan is not able to do any mischief whatsoever.
This Rajouri...
And third point, which is...
Sorry, please complete. Please complete your third point.
Third point, which is very important, is in any counter-terrorist operation, where the stabilization phase is going on. That means you have done the hard work, you have brought the situation to a place or a level where now you have to stabilize the last 5 or 10%.
Ji.
Now that is the most difficult phase, because the number of terrorists are less and the security forces are more, and they are visible. The population, which is innocent, unarmed, is vulnerable. So that stabilization phase is going on today. In this stabilization phase, 90% of efforts have to remain on consolidating our gains, maintaining our gains, not letting them slip away, and applying succor to the needs of the people. And 10% hard operations must continue. If those 10% hard operations don't continue, the troops will get out of touch with the operational art, and the terrorists will be able to move around freely and cause terror especially in the far-flung areas.
Ji.
So this is where we need to look at our strategy all over again, and we need to hone our skills, our drills, and our strategy application has to be very, very strong.
How is the Kashmir Valley and this entire region, Rajouri, Poonch, Samba sector, how is this different in terms of terrain? Why is it that the terrorists are able to survive 8-9 months even through the winter in this region? Is there a reason why they've selected this Rajouri, Pir Panjal region?
See, Kashmir Valley, as we all know, Kashmir Valley is a bowl which is surrounded by high mountains which get snowfall during the winters, and where the grazing is possible during the summers. And in Kashmir, because of 35 years of terrorism, and historically also, Kashmir has villages. Kashmir doesn't have scattered Gujjar huts or Bakharwal huts, other than in the foothills, which also get vacated during the summers. So Kashmiris stay in villages. Within the villages, they stay in respective mohallas, Dar Mahalla, Wani Mahalla, Ganai Mahalla. So they are very concentrated lot. So any terrorist, when he enters a village, somebody or the other will give information. Now, as compared to this, the demography and the topography. In Kashmir, after the exodus of Kashmiri Pandits, the demography is more or less a one religion demography. The topography I've explained, they live in the villages,
Correct.
and information is easier to come by,
Correct.
in spite of demography being of one religion.
Ji.
Now come to Rajouri Punch area.
Ji.
Here people are basically herders, Gujars, Bakrwals, Pahadis, and Hindus. They stay in villages, plus most of them stay in scattered hutments, which may be a cluster of 1, 2, 3, 4 huts, and scattered from the village or away from the village by 1 to 2 kilometers
Ji.
at times, and interstate distance also at times 500 meters to 2 kilometers. So it becomes very difficult to gain information if a group of terrorists have entered a particular cluster of huts where the people are friendly to them, so nobody else will see them around there as compared to the population in Kashmir. So there is a very subtle but a very big difference. When you fly over Jammu region,
Ji.
you see the scattered hutments like pearls lying on the floor,
Correct.
or grass floor.
Ji.
So there is a difference. That's how the information becomes little difficult to come when they enter a friendly hutment area.
Ji. But now, if I were to ask you, in terms of recalibration of the security grid, does that then change the dynamic? Because since June or even before that last year, 2022, say we are seeing drone drops. We are seeing activity in Punch Rajouri. We're seeing activity near Jammu, near the IB also. So why has it taken us so much time to recalibrate and get our act right in this region? Is it because of the spread? Is it because the topography? Is it because there is not enough human? Or is it lack of coordination?
I will say because of no hard operations over the last few years or few decades, all the aspects which you mentioned have
Ji.
taken a little bit of a hit. I will not hesitate to accept it because operational unit
Ji.
is at its peak when the operations are continuous.
Ji.
The drills are at its peak when the operations are practically on every day or every week basis.
Ji.
When a unit or a sub-unit does not get into an operational area or an operations for about say 5-6 months, especially with a force like Rashtriya Rifles and also to some extent CRPF, where people come and go. So they get out of touch with operations. But the whole backbone of any successful operation is the intelligence. It's not only the human intelligence, you mentioned, it's also the technical intelligence. It's also the background intelligence. It's also the intelligence which is of immediate actionable intelligence or a cool intelligence which can be worked upon after a few days.
Right.
So all this intelligence collation and collection and synthesization of this results in successful operations.
Ji. Sir,
So we need to hone up our intelligence, we need to carry out more synergized operations, and we need to look at our strategy all over afresh.
Ji. Sir, I have
There
limited
is a
time.
dire need to look at it because this area demands fresh
Ji.
strategy, fresh eyes, fresh heart, fresh hands.
Sir, I have limited time, so I just want to ask a larger final question to you, last 2 minutes. Is this entire game of the dragon, how much of it is Pakistani machination and how much of it is being pushed or orchestrated by the PLA? Because they want to force a redeployment, put pressure on the Indian security forces and ease the pressure that's been built at the LAC.
See, when you have two enemies on your western and northern front, and both of them are nuclear and both of them are not very friendly to you. We are the only country in the world which has two nuclear neighbors and both are not friendly. So we need to be very clear. Enemies will do everything within their powers to destabilize us. It is our responsibility, the onus is on us to make sure we don't allow their designs to succeed. Whether the Pakistan is doing it alone, whether the China is helping Pakistan so that collaboratively they can destabilize this area and force a redeployment, that is for the agencies to see. But as a citizen, as a nation, we need to be prepared for their collaborative actions. And that is where I say we need to put our things in order first. And for that, the stabilization phase, I'll repeat at the cost of repetition, is the most crucial stage of any counter-terrorism operations. We need to stabilize the situation, not let the gains we have already achieved slip
away. True.
slip away, and also no harm should come to the local innocent unarmed public.
Ji.
At the same time, carry out hard, synergized, intelligence-based surgical operations against the terrorists
Ji.
so that they don't spread the menace in the area.
Ji. Lieutenant General KJS Dhillon, thank you so much, sir. Always a pleasure speaking with you. As we wind up, there's just another information. Earlier on, there was some activity in Doda, and now there is an exchange of fire between terrorists and security forces in Kota Top of the Bhalesa area in Doda district. We're given to understand this is a remote part of Doda. So is it the hot pursuit of these terrorists that has led to this again being circled? We're given to understand one policeman, Jammu and Kashmir policeman, is injured in this exchange. We leave you with that. The story continues on the other side on Brass Tacks with Zaka Jacob. Stay with us.